We are the Nerd Eternal Network.
I know I'm not the one. Don't fake it, well, you don't belong to me.
Hello, and welcome to the Dire Bear Adventuring Company. It's Tuesday night, so that means it's our Espergenesis Holocaust of the Ekajati campaign, which is a science fiction take on 5th edition. I'll be your GM for the evening, Jason, from over at the Nerd Eternal Network. And with me as usual will be Sarah playing Kat, Decca playing Armanto, Eric playing Adrian, and probably Patrick playing Hull. Who wants to give the review of last session?
Shit went whack, yo.
God damn it, Achille.
Yeah, also that.
What did Achille do?
All the things.
I don't think he did all the things.
He was being
He did quite a
punk.
few things.
That's what he was doing. Ow. As I pop my back.
So we found a... We poked our nose... Wait. Was it last episode we poked her at the...
Poked at the what now?
the Crucible, where it was kind of like a HR Geiger...
Oh, yes, yeah, we did.
Bio...
Yes, you did that on your way.
Biological, mechanical...
That was the tail end of the session, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, you woke up. We're doing some plotting and planning. I forget exactly about what. Realized that Achille had not shown up that morning, where he had been very prompt on every other day. He's always excited to get to work.
Mm-hmm.
Figured out that he had somehow bypassed at some point, had bypassed the system lock and had taken some information from one of the maintenance droids and then erased it from the archive copy, and then someone using a plasma blade had destroyed basically the hard drive on the actual droid itself.
Mm-hmm.
Venturing out, y'all had found that his ship had left because he had it parked out by the Roustabout. Just kind of on a fluke, y'all decided to check the other camp where he had his archaeologist working. And they were in the process of packing everything up and under the distinct impression that you were supposed to come over and pick them up.
And they never told us.
And they were... But they were a little upset that he hadn't passed that information on to you.
Mm-hmm.
But you picked him up, which made the Roustabout pretty crowded.
But we may do.
We almost got shot down.
Which still surprises me that Adrian pulled that off.
Mm-hmm.
And no one is as surprised as everyone else.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Crucible that y'all had been told not to land on, you checked it out, you sent Yanni down. And yeah, it was some like HR Geiger. It's like he had designed an ecosystem.
Ugh.
Just without, all the phallic symbolism and stuff.
Uh-huh.
The creatures there seem to have a unusual ability to detect Yanni.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they couldn't precisely see where he was at, but could kind of feel his presence.
Yeah.
Other than that, the Crucible seemed to be abandoned. There was no sign of any added structures to it. Where if you go to an active Crucible that's got like a station built into it, people have come in and added their own stuff, built their own buildings, filled in rooms and spaces and whatnot.
Yeah.
You didn't have any of that here.
Just seemed like a bare bones crucible.
Mm-hmm. Except for these weird techno-organic things running around.
They can bleed. I can fight them.
Individually, you could probably fight most any of them. But that's kind of like the zombie apocalypse. You know, anybody can take on one zombie.
We don't know that.
But it's when you get, 50 or 60 of them surrounding you that it starts getting iffy.
Just a smidge.
And let's see, I think either shortly before y'all left, or maybe this was the reason y'all left when you did, a larger ship, destroyer class, more than most likely, had jumped in. It was an older model. It wasn't something, it was a Eldori, I believe. Not something their military uses anymore. But still not something you wanted to tangle with, in a transport.
Yeah.
You had a brief conversation with the ship's captain, whose name I don't think you ever got.
Nope.
Let's see. Hang on a second, I may have conflicting notes here. Nope, I've got him listed as Eldori on both of them.
Yeah, we didn't get his name.
But you had a sort of exchange of information, I suppose.
Yeah, they know about Achille too now.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe you had narrowed it down where you're pretty sure he has gotten a hint, if not the coordinates at least, gotten a hint as to where the Ekajati homeworld was.
Yep.
The captain of the other ship was not pleased by this. He was a little confused by some of the things you said to him, but that upset him, at which point he stopped talking and sent his fighters on after you.
Yep.
But by then Jim had managed to sink the ship up to the Crucible and you jumped out.
Thank
Still
God.
surprised by that. How did Adrian keep him talking long enough not to blow them out of the sky?
Well, it helps that their ship had jumped in far enough away from you that you had a head start anyway.
Mm.
He also, I remember the dude told the fighters to back off for a little while too.
Well, from his point of view, yeah, you got away, but he got important information out of you.
Yeah.
Worrying information, but stuff he needed to know.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Other than that, you saw the rest of the bridge crew, but only Gilbert stood out to you as somebody you had encountered before.
Yeah.
And then we ended on a city.
Yes, we had
Capital
ended.
City.
That's right, because y'all told Jim just to jump somewhere, and he told you he'd take you somewhere y'all hadn't been before.
That we haven't been before.
Right. Well, that the Roustabout and the crew, he doesn't know where y'all been in y'all's personal lives.
Okay.
But
Fair enough.
it is also probably the largest spaceport. Yeah, probably. Period. So he figured it'd be an easy place for y'all to disappear into.
Mm.
You had dropped off the archaeologists. They had discovered that they were still on payroll.
Somehow.
Good for them.
Well, they were still on the expense account was still active.
Well, when your benefactor dies and gets taken over by an immortal being, they have all the time in the world to... I'm just kidding.
That was one theory. So they were using that to then buy themselves tickets to go home. Mm-hmm. Some of them were going to kind of hang around and try to get in contact with Achille to find out, hey, do we still have a job? Oh, and by the way, WTF, why were you leaving us on the planet? Let's see. So yeah, y'all are on a station that basically orbits close to the Crucible of...
Are we back in the Sol system?
Where's the dad blame map? No, the Sol system is not the capital of anything except Earth's territory.
Good. I was like, I don't want it to be like that.
No, it is Tessara, Tessara. Tessara is how I'm going to pronounce it.
Okay.
Saurian
That's all right.
Prime.
All right.
And it is essentially the capital city of the Saurian Arc. Well, it's the name of one of the trade routes.
Armont is looking around, and he looks at Jim like, Jim, where are we?
No, y'all established that last time, remember?
Okay.
Because y'all had gotten there, he had told you where you were at, and then y'all had the
Okay.
architects
Okay,
or
that's
architects,
different.
archaeologists had disembarked.
Okay, then follow-up question.
Mhm.
What's there to do here?
Jim's like, about anything you want, it's a big station, you're talking about something, you're talking about a station with a population probably as big as New York City modern day.
Next city modern day. Thanks for a second. Memories.
Now he's like, if you wanted, look, I can't remember if Adrian was needing a forge for something.
Yeah.
If you needed that, you'd have to hop over to the Crucible, which is absolutely doable. But
I do need a forge, yes.
Kind of like to go weapon shopping. I know I just got this handy one here, but like, still.
Options are always good.
Yes.
So, Armando wants to go weapon shopping. Adrian wants to book some time on a forge. What do the rest of y'all want to do? And I guess right now the rest of you is Sarah. Or Kat.
Cat's just here to panic quietly.
Armando has the leaf cloak on again.
Where Kat's just
Shopping.
holding her mask down. You just hear heavy breathing under.
It's like 2 X's where the eyes are supposed to be.
So like shopping and forge could be accomplished on the Crucible, correct?
Yeah. The
Yeah.
station built in the Crucible would have plenty of shopping as well.
Let's just get a spot at the Crucible and figure out what the hell we're doing.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Take a couple of days, collect ourselves. It's a heavily populated area. They can't really just come in and blow up our ship while we're here. If they want to at least be kind of stealthy.
They can blow up the whole Crucible if they want to.
Yeah, but that might raise at least 1 or 2 red flags. Someone's gonna wonder, why did that Crucible blow up?
That would be, you're talking about something as big as a moon and heavily defended.
I saw Star Wars. I know how this works.
Well, no one's ever discovered a weak point in the Crucibles yet.
Fair enough.
And there's been centuries of people studying them.
Okay, then I guess we'd all go to the Crucible after we've already dropped off all the
Oh yeah,
archaeologists.
they have unloaded, and they've either already bought their tickets to go somewhere else or have rented rooms on the station.
Then we'll go back to the Crucible. Then
All right.
I'll join Adrian as he goes to the forge, or as he books some forging time.
Okay. So, Eric, what is it that Adrian is wanting to do at the forge?
Well, you said that he needed a forge to put together the Asper suppressant pistol.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to work on that
Okay.
for however long that takes.
Oh yeah, we did not have the. Where did I put my DMG? Because we were using the item creation of the DMG. Oh, it's probably SDR Online's probably got it.
No, I'll help him with that while he's
Okay.
going about that.
Okay, so you have to wait a couple of days for a spot to open up. It's the downside of a Crucible this busy is there's
Everybody
people just
wants that damn forge.
constantly using the forges.
Yeah.
In some cases, megacorps may have direct control over one particular, forge.
It's like my experience at anime conventions.
Welcome to LineCon.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Just sticks his grand blade in the ground and like leans on it like, just wake me up when we're moving.
All right, though.
Well, you know, you've got ticket number 1002. They're on ticket number 3. It'll be a little while.
So in that time, then Aramonso would go. He's gonna like do his normal like cardio routine, and as he's doing that, he's kind of looking around for weapons and armor.
Not keeping an eye out for fellow joggers.
Yes.
So well last time.
A very athletic feminine jogger. Yes.
Mm-mm-mm.
All right. Right, there's the one I was looking for. Just making sure I don't have any texts from any other players. And I do not. Okay. Alright. So your pistol, off the top of my head, like I said, I don't remember for sure how long the item creation takes. I imagine that pistol's going to take a few days, though.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what? It really just comes down to time and money spent. You don't actually have to roll for it or anything, so we'll figure out how much it costs you later, rather than me try to look it up here.
What some people tend to do is like, you have all the resources available to you, and you just like you'll roll, and then however whatever based on your roll is how many resources you take and how much money it takes, which is mostly what it comes down to.
So anyway, you have several days of working to get one of those pistols cranked out. But with with access to a forge, because the material you're using is basically just the Silurian, whatever the
Sorium.
Sorium. Thank you.
Sorium.
That the crucibles produce, so you pretty much turn that into anything, which is how forged objects tend to be created.
Yep.
Adrian, why don't you make it out of cubils? Money gun.
No.
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 Make a gun that shoots guns.
He just sighs in exasperation.
How do you reload your weapon? I don't. I just grab another gun.
It's like the Supreme gun.
I said it's a gun that shoots guns. That those guns also shoot guns.
That exists in
Deception.
Borderlands.
No, it just shoots guns. It doesn't shoot guns that shoot guns. Anyway. So you were slaving away in there for a few days. I think Armado said he was helping you.
Yeah.
I suspect Hull will have also spent this time. He will also have rented some forge space and spent this time doing something.
Mm-hmm.
Jim spends a fair amount of time out sightseeing. Like there's gonna be several days, so he dips down to the actual capital world to see a few sites. Either things that he'd been to before and really liked when it's again. He hits a few spots that he just never managed to get to on any of his other trips.
Jim hears on his comms, "Hey, send me pictures."
You get all these poorly taken.
The shitty selfies.
It's like a thumb in every picture.
There's the finger right here.
At first, you think he's just terrible at it. Then you realize that's some kind of filter he's putting on it for comic effect.
Jim. Thank you.
They're all on his Instagram.
So with the guys all working in the forge, and Jim off site, say, what does Cat spend those several days doing?
Restocking anything that needs restocked on the ship. Taking note of any armor or weaponry stores to pass on to the gentlemen when they're done. And probably looking on the shadow net for any whisper of where Achille might have gone.
Okay, give me... Let's see. What is gather information these days?
Investigation?
Give me an investigation roll.
I was gonna say
Good. I'm horrible at that.
I was gonna say you've made it computer use in the past.
Well, they're both
Would it be
intelligent, so.
Yeah, they're both intelligence.
Yeah.
I'm horrible at both of them.
You might be proficient in it, I don't know.
If I'm proficient in it, considering specialist, add 4.
Alright, so you got a 12.
Yeah.
You don't hear any particular mentions of him. Or rather, you don't find any mentions of where he might be. You do find a post where someone is offering a reward for information on his whereabouts.
And she's betting that's probably the guy that was on the other ship.
Or one of his flunkies. That's a reasonable enough assumption.
Yeah.
Either that or one of those archaeologists are really upset.
One of them's really
Leave me
upset and
somewhere.
has
Track you down, break your hip.
get him back a freaking old
You're in your
reality star.
70s, I'll fuck you up.
It's like I'm gonna post a reward. I'm gonna post a bounty for your capture and bring back to me, and you're paying for it.
Well, it's not a bounty. It's for information on his whereabouts.
Gonna find you.
And you're paying for it. This amuses me now. Okay.
And she will probably just hang out around the ship otherwise, because she has no mechanical skills, so she's staying far away from the forge.
Okay.
Every now and again, Armando looks on the on Hi-Ho.
Oh.
Every now and again.
There's our engineer.
Every now and again, Armando, when he has some downtime from the forge, was just gonna look at his through his legitimate comms, not the ShadowNet, and because he doesn't have ShadowNet access, obviously.
Yeah, that's a thief. Or I mean,
Specialist.
specialist thing.
He's gonna look for any mentions on his old pal Claudio. Did you read my bio?
I did. I realized completely forgotten to actually bring Claudio into anything.
Okay.
Got 6 more episodes. There's Claudio's
We've
the
got,
big bad.
have we got 8 more?
I don't
Suddenly have
know.
like 8 episodes.
Let's see.
Said you want to wrap up by the end of March, so that puts us at about 5 to 6.
Mm.
Plot
'cause
twist,
March has
Claudio's the
got-
big bad.
Yeah, because we've got 5. It'll be 6 after today. Because we've got 5. We've got 5 Tuesdays in March.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna roll my investigation.
Okay, give me a roll.
It's a
What do you-
6,
You be
It's a
doing
7
this
on the
back
dice.
on the ship?
so it's a 6.
You don't
Huh?
find hiding or hair of him. With that roll, you may be spelling his name wrong when you type it in. It's a typo. It's nothing you don't know how to spell his name.
My stupid gloves.
I was like, Claudio with a C or Claudio with a K?
Actually, spelling it with a V. He keeps hitting the V button instead of the C by mistake. Claudio.
My hand is My hand is the size of your face. It makes sense.
I keep fat fingering it. Okay, Hull.
Keep fat fingering it. It's all I know how to do.
All right, Hull. Y'all are currently in the station. Station on the Crucible that it orbits in the capital systems. The capital planets system. Get it spit out eventually. Adrian and Aramonto have rented some forge space and are trying to crank out one of those prototype Esper suppressing guns that you've got plans for. Was there anything you were wanting to try to build? Were you needing forge time for something?
If anything, I would like to actually finally make a really nice set of armor. I know I got some like the +1 armor from what I already had. I found out using all the time, but I'd actually like to be able to make armor. That was one thing I wanted to do the last time we had forge time.
Okay, well, you've got several days at least to work on it this time. I have not dug back out my DMG to find the item creation rules, but y'all have got enough time and access to the forge as long as you've got the money, and I think y'all are doing pretty well on money at this point.
Yeah.
You should be able to crank out anything on the level of like a +1, maybe a +2. We'll have to check to be sure. So.
I remember the DMG doesn't give specific amounts for how much a +1 and +2 cost.
No, but those count as a certain rarity, and there was a chart that gave you the money for what rarity it cost to create something. I did finally find that, I think, last time we did.
Awesome.
So if you've got a DMG or access to one, or the SDR or something, you can feel free to be looking through that. All right, so let's see.
You don't have the DMG for this game, or?
Oh, for Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay.
I don't think the tech manual is actually out for this one, which is probably where those rules will be. But figured the GP cost just translates into cubles. And plus the +1 through 3 thing is just the same. So.
It would probably help if I actually signed into Roll20 because I forgot to do that.
If you would like to roll some virtual dice, yes.
Yeah. I was just sitting here staring off into outer space. Just.
Well, you're in space, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
But
the void, it calls to me.
It's empty, like my soul.
What soul?
Wrong game.
That's next game.
Yeah, he's got to believe in souls. Y'all have been fighting the souls of a dead race this entire campaign.
Pretty much.
Those souls were displaced by science, though. That doesn't count.
There's a logical, scientific explanation for everything that hasn't come up yet.
Still, my favorite joke when it comes to that, it comes from the game, is it Star Command? Basically, think like a Star Trek kind of simulator game for the iPad. And one of the upgrades for the engineering section was basically it just produced more power. And it's like, you may ask yourself, how can we just suddenly create more power? It may seem like sorcery, but it's actually science. Okay, it's mostly sorcery.
Nah, I like the Rick and Morty quote. Science is really more of an art than a science. Most people don't get that. All right, Sarah, what is Kat's passive perception?
15. She's gonna get jumped.
No, of course not.
Not yet.
Later, she's going to get jumped.
I am betting that their stealth is not a +10, which means they probably did not beat you. They rolled a 6 on their die. Let's see here.
Running into tin cans.
They hit us. They hit a cabbage merchant.
My cabbages! Mm-mm-mm.
All right.
He's not very
Sorry.
stealthy.
What the hell do you want?
And he is not very stealthy. Alright. It's nobody tries to jump you as you go about your business. But you start to notice the same handful of people. They happen to be in the market when you get there. There's a couple of them hanging around the dock. Not suspiciously close to the roustabout, particularly. But you're seeing the same 5 or 6 people enough to start recognizing their faces. And it's not like they're working in the area. They just tend to be there.
Can I roll insight in this regard?
If you were here.
You're not there.
Okay.
Well, this is over the course of several days, so y'all be going and coming from the ship.
Okay.
Okay.
If Kat decides to point out to everybody, then
Yeah, because she would probably ask for Yanni to follow, get their faces, and run some kind of check on.
Insight.
Yanni absolutely would be following people around if that were the case.
okay.
Reaches.
With the 25, the ones hanging around the dock, you are absolutely well. Hang on, they're trying to. Yeah, roll a 2 on the dice. The dice do it. Yeah, you're absolutely certain they're keeping the roustabout under observation. There is not. You get the feeling that's probably all they're supposed to do, because a couple of them have sidearms. Some of them don't appear to be armed at all. They're wearing regular clothes. They're not armored noticeably at all.
I'll kind of elbow Cat and be like, you want I should do something about this?
Now,
She's gonna go ahead.
I was just gonna say just to clarify on some stuff. A lot of the stations y'all been in are kind of out in the border somewhat, so it's the law is a little more rough and tumble.
Yeah, they could just be dock guards.
Nobody said anything about fighting.
Okay. I'm just saying
Yeah, she's gonna.
if
she
you get
would wait
shot
to
at,
see-
it's one thing to retaliate, but don't go starting nothing.
She would wait to see what Yanni comes back with after getting their faces and everything, and letting the nerd boys run background checks as much as possible to see if anything pops on any of them.
All right, just say the word.
Well, once I figure out what they are or who they are, I'll go up and have a pleasant conversation with them.
All right, so Yanni manages to follow them back. They all seem to be staying in the same hotel.
Same room?
No, they have a series of rooms in the same hallway, though.
It really is an anime convention.
Good grief.
And anytime, let's see. There's usually at least 2 of them in one of the rooms at all times. 3 of the rooms seem to be. They've got 4 rooms. 3 of them, they seem to actually be, just using as hotel rooms. It's like there's, 2 per room. The 4th room they seem to have set up as almost a command center. It's nothing super high tech, but they've got a few. They have a few cameras set up in the dock that's keeping an eye on the roustabout. I say a few cameras. A camera, a couple of motion sensors, set at varying levels, height-wise.
Is there anyone in there right now?
Oh no.
In the command center, yes. There's, for however long Yanni watches, there seems to always be at least one person in the command center.
Okay, what is this one person doing?
He alternates between watching the actual camera feeds. He seems to be. He periodically takes reports from the people in the field, and you find there's 2 watching the ship, and there's 1. Let's see, y'all are all on the ship at this point. So there's 1 that has reported that he is headed back to the room. He had apparently been watching all of you at the forge, not watching you do the specific work, but keeping a lookout to make sure he knew when y'all were there and when y'all left. As soon as he realized all 3 of you were headed back to the ship, then
Okay.
he's heading on back to the rooms.
Right. Yanni is gonna find whatever looks like the central control thing for this. Basically.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna sit on it and watch this man or woman or whoever alien happens to be here.
Oh, they're all human so far.
Okay. And his pincers are going to be on either side of the control console. He's just going to wait.
Okay. This thing is roughly laptop size. Though the screen is a purely holographic affair, so think of it as just the bottom part of a laptop that holographs its screen up.
Okay.
But in addition to being, a computer, it's got comm systems built into it. So it is kind of the central hub that all their communication equipment and cameras and everything is just feeding directly into this one device.
Okay. And he is going to stay phased out. Just in case the dude has to reach into that area. So he'll just go right through Yanni. So he'll stay phased out. And just let me know when the guy turns around. For anything, really.
He gets up to go take a leak at some point.
Okay. He gets to go take a leak. Adrian through Yanni is going to put a Class 5 system lock on it.
Oh, shit.
He's gone a minute or 2. He comes back. He hits the mini fridge. Gets a beer. Sits back down. And goes for a while without noticing anything.
Okay. And I will say that for the moment, he's leaving all of the current access stuff where it was. So no one is locked out of it for the moment.
Okay.
But Adrian is now in that system, and he is monitoring them through their monitoring system.
Now, the system lock itself does not let you bypass their security, does it? That just keeps other people out. You'd have to actually hack your way in.
Yeah.
I mean, probably not a hard task for Adrian.
Yeah.
You also described it as not very high tech too.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
Turning off a
probably
laptop
the
in a
second best
hotel room.
cybermancer in the campaign so far.
Spoilers.
Let's see.
Not really. Somebody bypassed his system lock in the other base, so something's up.
Yeah. Let's say, and then Yanni's gonna wait for the next time he turns around or does something.
Let's see. The fellow that was watching the forges gets back. They have a brief conversation.
Are they away from the console to do this?
The guy that man at the console gets up and gets the other guy a beer. So they don't step out of the room or anything, but he is away from the console.
Are they currently watching it?
They're conversing with each other, and the console's over here.
Okay.
So, if Yanni does something super obvious, they may notice out of the corner of their eye, but they're not staring directly at it.
So while that's happening, Adrian through Yanni will then black hat at Class 5 to hack into the system.
Now, he doesn't have to become visible for you to do this kind of stuff, does he?
Nope, he does not.
But he has to Does he have to become solid enough to touch whatever it is?
He does have to become solid, yes.
Okay.
But in this case, he's not sitting on it. He's sort of off to the side. He's sort of poke off to the side.
Boop your laptop.
basically.
All right, give me a computer use roll.
Okie dokie. How'd that 27 strike you?
Jesus.
That's okay.
Well, I mean, considering that didn't let me bypass whatever the hell Achille did.
Well,
Or
some of
it
that was
didn't let me
using the
read.
Ekajati's own tech, and
Yeah.
apparently they were very good at scrubbing their information when they went to.
Yeah.
But yeah, you pop in, no problem. You've got
Okay.
access to the communication logs. Now it's got some automatic scrubbing stuff set up. That if it detected somebody hacking in, which with a 27 you blew past any hope of it. But if somebody typed in the wrong access code, starting it up or any of this kind of stuff, the drive physically destroys itself.
Okay. Doing that, Adrian will take a moment to mentally download the data logs. Sort of one hand on a data pad, so data pad in the Roustabout, where probably everyone else is at, is going meh with data logs.
I was just
Like
gonna walk up and talk to the guy, but I guess this works.
It's like a lie detector test.
Basically. He will also plant a program tracker in there so he can trace where this thing's going.
Where
Sort of like
where the
sort of like-
thing physically goes, or
yeah, basically.
okay.
And it's sort of like as a backdoor access so he can just like get into
Okay.
as necessary.
Adrian request. What is it? The cell phones always ask you. Locate.
Adrian,
They want your
Adrian would like to know
location.
your location.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Would you like to let Adrian know your location? And since you're the one controlling, you hit okay.
basically, yeah. And then he will, once he has that information,
Mhm.
and the information where all these people are, where they were been watching, where the motion sensors are, etc., he will back out of the system, leaving the tracer, the backdoor, and the system lock in place. But the system lock is not activated against them yet. And then he will have Yanni let go and then come back to the ship.
Okay. All right, so Yanni returns to the ship. If you observe them the rest of the night, you're watching them watch you.
Yeah.
They get a call from out of system. There's security try to disguise it, but basically it's using the faster than light or the near instantaneous communication you have when you're on a crucible, as long as the other
Okay.
person's also on a crucible.
Right.
Much like the ships teleport instantaneously from one crucible to another, so does communication.
Got it. Okay.
As you listen, let's see. Yeah, you've encountered these guys before, not these specific guys before. It becomes obvious very quickly that this whole operation is set up by the Scarlet Dust Pirates.
Really? Okay. Since we're on a crucible, Adrian will just go, "Nah," and he'll send a call to their SDF contact via crucible.
Being on a crucible, you very quickly get a response.
Hello.
And this guy what was his name?
Oh, it's been a while. I don't remember.
Did we make up
honestly.
this guy's name? Because I think we did something. We called him something weird.
He had a name. I remember he was supposed to have an accent that I didn't try to do.
Shame.
Yeah, well, I can pull off a Colonel Sanders accent every now and then. That's about it.
You did do that. You did do that for one Wednesday game. It was pretty good.
Oh yeah. Well, The reliquary was from Savannah, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Just not my Savannah, Georgia.
Correct. He was actually from the Savannah, Georgia in my other game.
Yeah.
Ah, well.
I see cat.
You got your buddy, whatever his name was.
Let's just go with Steve.
It wasn't Steve. Was it a Did I give him a French name?
Monsieur Steve.
Is that pork
Steve
chop?
not appearing in this game.
Steve, but the Eve is just OUI.
Screw it, we'll say his middle name was Steve, and yeah, he goes by Steve.
Yeah.
I've got
Alright.
plans for the next campaign. Keep better notes.
Don't we all?
Well, I think I'm just going to use Google Drive and
Yeah.
have subfolders for the vampire stuff. You know, here's my characters. Here's the rules I need to remember.
I mean, that's what I do with the Monday game. With all my notes.
I think that will.
Hello,
just be
pork
easy.
chop.
She's irritated that Loki's already on my lap.
Mom, pay attention to me, Mom. Look,
So anyway, y'all contact Steve.
I go. Hi, Steve.
Hello, Adrian. So y'all been up
so
to
you
some fun
remember-
excitement again?
Yeah. Do you remember those pirates that we called to help about before? Scarlet Dust Pirates?
Oh yes.
Yeah, you know they're running an operation out here on the Crucible and the Capital System, right?
What sort of He goes, I did not know this personally. He starts typing up. That's weird. That's really
well-
far from their usual stomping ground.
Well, they're currently stalking us.
Yeah, there's nothing here about them having any known operatives in system. Oh, you say they may be
Well-
following you specifically.
Oh, no, they are.
How do you folks make so many friends?
We're just so charming.
I like to punch people.
Adrian just tilts his head and goes, I mean, have you not seen just how absolutely charming I am?
I guess that does solve that mystery.
Armako
thought so.
loudly sighing in the background.
Have they taken
I heard
any,
that.
Have they taken any action against you?
What would legally be defined as action against us?
Well, violence, obviously.
No.
Though I imagine I'd have heard about that if that had happened.
Yeah. Violence around us typically doesn't stay quiet for very long.
Oh, let's see. He rambles on or rattles off some of the local privacy laws that they are technically in violation of. You could stick the station on them just for the cameras they've set up without permission.
Let's
It's
see.
fairly minor league stuff. They'd be paying fines and whatnot, you know.
Yeah. Agents goes, well, let's see. They have cameras watching us. They've had people stalking us throughout the station. They have people that are currently staking out our ship. They've set up motion trackers all throughout the station to figure out where we are. One of them actually
the cameras
kind
and
of...
motion trackers are set up in the dock. It's like this so they can
Yeah,
keep up with the
but-
comings and goings from your ship. But
But this is what Adrian is saying.
oh,
I think one of them actually snuck into the forge, which was weird.
he goes, well, now some areas of the forges are kind of open to the public. I mean, it varies a little bit depending on who's in control of each individual one. But
Yeah.
if you're in one of them where you can rent space, you know, the kind of lobby area, yeah, anybody can go in there legally.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, if you know they're constantly following you, there's certain harassment sort of things you could file against them, restraining order sorts of things.
You can always kill them.
No, we can't kill them. Go ahead.
I don't say that out
So,
loud.
what would be our legal recourse here? Because considering we just got done outrunning a pirate destroyer.
You see you see old Steve. You see his head do that curious dog thing. Hmm?
Do you want to tell him everything, Jim?
It just sort of does. Yeah, it's a long story.
Somewhere down on the surface of the planet, Jim stops and, why are my ears burning?
Jim feels a disturbance in the force.
It's like, yeah, I would prefer my first recourse in this case isn't to go in with a firearm.
I wouldn't mind it. That I do say out loud.
No.
Yes,
Security
I know
of the
you wouldn't
capital
mind
is tighter than many places, so if you can resolve this peacefully, that's the way to do it.
That's why I'm asking to not go in with a. There's a way I can do this, make them go away and leave us alone without, resulting to violence.
Quick
Even
side
if it would
question.
be satisfying.
Yes.
How many days have we known about this?
We'll say this is the second day you've known. Because I imagine, as soon as
Okay.
you realize you've been watched, I figure y'all launch y'all's investigation
Yeah.
pretty quickly.
Okay.
You've been on the station
as a-
about 5 days by this point.
Yeah. As a side note, after the probably middle of first day, Cat would have been working on a forged identity.
Okay.
Kit forged.
And by that, she goes into the forge. His hand comes out.
Got a hammer
Yeah.
and a fake ID. She comes out.
That's
It's
how
now
she
a
spends
plus
her
one
forge
fake
time.
ID.
I think we were all thinking that.
I don't make up the titles
That-
for stuff.
That, or also she makes an ashen forge just like her.
Oh, that'd be something.
That would be a little too weird.
She had
Well,
together body
yes,
parts
but-
and all kinds of stuff.
That's like JoJo level.
This is my stand.
Good grief. What have we done?
Everything.
No. Okay.
She's making herself a forged Scarlet Dust Pirate identity.
Okay.
They don't really have ID cards that they carry around, identify themselves as Scarlet Dust.
It just says I can establish the record historical data and associations for your chosen identity. So, like, somehow working herself into that. Like, giving herself some kind of clout with Scarlet Dust Pirates.
Would that give you clout with Scarlet Dust Pirates, or would that just mean that the authorities have a record of you being a Scarlet Dust Pirate?
I will link it in the thing and let you decide.
I'm going to say with a organization that's secretive, like the Scarlet, like a pirate band, or the Shadow Technocracy, or any of that kind of jazz, that you're not going to get something that fools them because they don't keep those kind of records. Though, if you wanted to work, that you were a suspected member of into the history, then anybody looking at it would go, she's a suspected member of. So if you're dealing with a large organization, you might be able to fool people into thinking, people check
Like
that ID. They might think, okay, maybe she was part of this other branch over here.
Okay. Like, I could say I'm part of this big corporation, but not anything else kind of thing.
Right.
Okay. Never mind then.
All right, so you start. Let's see, what else do you need to tell Steve? He said, right now, from what you told him, the most actionable thing would be the privacy violation. But that would alert them to what's going on. Do you send him the evidence that they're Scarlet Dust?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He goes, with the information you've sent me, I can get an investigation started. Well, I can send the information to the local security forces, and they will start an investigation immediately. Basically, they'll be spying on the guy spying on you. But legally.
Sounds like fun.
Because that is a wanted organization of with solid evidence of their involvement with the Scarlet Dust Pirates. We could pick them up. The nature of how you got into their computers makes using that a little questionable in court.
Yeah, well.
But if we just start observing them because they're, observing or stalking you, and we happen to stumble across evidence that they're the Scarlet Dust Pirates after that fact, then we're good.
Oh, that'll work. Player to DM question. Do any of these people that we've seen, are they familiar as being Scarlet Dust Pirate members?
No,
Or are
you don't
these
think
just
you've ever
new
seen them
ones?
before.
Okay.
But
so
the
these
only
are
time
new
any of
hires,
you have
so to
had
speak.
direct contact with Scarlet Dust was when you attacked one of their ships. You took their VIP for the Vericat. You were working with the Veracast
That's
Raiders.
right. That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Other than that, the drug dealers that were trying to set up on the planet Achille lives up above.
Mm-hmm.
How have I blanked on that name? I guess because y'all haven't been there in a while. Esperella? Esperella sounds familiar.
I do believe it is Esperella.
Yeah. So yeah, those guys were they were working with the Scarlet Dust Pirates, but only maybe their head guy was an actual member, and that was one of the things that tipped them off that Jade and Francis were with y'all. And from the information you've got off their computer, they're still wanting to find those two.
Mm-hmm.
And they're thinking you might have some information on them.
Okay.
But they've also seen, keeping up with you, they've seen a lot of the weirdness going on around you, and they're curious as to what that's about.
So am I.
And if they could make, if it's something they can make some kind of profit off of.
Of course it is.
Go for the Scarlet Dust Pods. Like, if you could figure this out for us, that'd be great.
Enjoy!
Scarlet Dust Pirate, secretly the good guys the whole time.
Here's our notes. Figure this shit out.
Basically. Okay, but yeah, he'll just go, yeah, do that, I guess.
Okay. So over the next couple of days, you notice, your stalkers are still there. Cat, you start to notice other people that are always around, but they're always focused on them.
The stalkers.
Yes. Who stalks the stalkers?
At one point, Armanto will do what we call in retail as aggressive hospitality.
Hi, can I help you find anything today?
Yes.
Can I get you a handbasket? Oh, I
Yes.
see you're buying this.
Are they like specifically eyeballing the Roustabout the whole time?
They're not that obvious. They're clearly not well trained in this.
It's one of those things where if I see them like look more than 3 times, I'm gonna be like, yeah, can I help you? You're looking at my ship.
Maybe one day you manage to be close enough to a guy that you can do that. He's like, it just looks familiar.
You probably saw it on TV.
Yeah, that's probably what it was. What was that show again?
It's on the tip of my tongue. I don't remember what it's called, but I know which one you're talking about. I just, we got it at an auction one year.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
Went really overboard with her cosplay of the killer.
Yeah.
Well, y'all restored it really nice.
Yeah, we've put a lot of work into it. It's our pride and joy. But I mean, there's something you need over here.
No. He was like, no, I was just trying to figure out where I'd seen that shit before. And the
Yeah.
little decal on the side, and okay.
Yeah, it's really nice.
He pulls his data out. Now I just gotta look up and remember what the name of that show was.
It's gonna bother you. It's like, I can't remember. I think something about spacefaring. Spacefaring archaeology. It was a lot of all of that stuff at once.
Fabulous Adventures of Achille.
Oh, Achille
Maybe
Vasher
now.
used his entire name.
The Fabulous Adventures of Achille Vasher. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, that was it. And this is the first time in the campaign that we have named what that show was.
Yep.
We've described the show, we've talked about the show, we've never given the show a name.
And now it has a name. 6 episodes to go.
On brand, man. It's on brand.
It really is.
The Fabulous Adventures of Achille Vasher. I had the whole show on my data pad, and I was a really big fan, and I investigated whether or not they were, what they'd been up to, because it's been about 20 years.
He's like, oh,
And
yeah,
I-
you know.
Just happened to have the ship on sale, so
Yeah, I watched it as a kid.
yeah, me too. But it's a little unsettling just having people kind of look at my ship like that.
Oh, I'm
So-
sorry, man. I didn't mean nothing by it. I'll be on my way. You won't see me again. Sorry about that. And he quickly makes his exit.
I rolled a 19 on insight. Do I believe him?
He'll be back tomorrow with a wig and a fake mustache.
He sincerely believes that you will not see him again. And you're left with the impression that, he doesn't intend to come back, He seems
He's a
relieved as he
permanent
leaves.
care
It's
duty.
like, for a second, he thought you'd made him. And he's like, well, maybe he doesn't realize anything too hinky's going on. And you notice, through the rest of the day, the other guy that was watching is a lot more circumspect, I guess is the right word. He's a lot more careful about
He's a lot more subtle about it.
Yeah.
rather than keeping you under constant observation, he just kind of pops back up in the bay, every so often, and is keeping watch kind of from further away.
Cat's like, can I just go sit up on top of the ship with my sniper rifle, just cleaning it and making eye contact with the people? Or is that too much?
Might be a little bit too much, I think.
Now, one thing Armando does notice is one of the people that were keeping them under observation gives you a very unhappy kind of look.
I smile very sweetly at him.
Gives you the bro.
So you're gonna flip off the cop that's investigating the people stalking.
No,
Okay.
I thought you said it was one of the other guys. That was
No.
that was,
One of the guys,
okay.
one of the guys, presumably law enforcement,
Sorry.
that are watching,
Sorry.
have been watching them.
If
for
it
the
was
last day
if it
or
was a Scarlet Dust pirate, he would have flipped him off.
so. Yeah. No, this is the cop going. We're watching these people. Don't spook them.
I'm more subtle than that. And I walk off.
Are you, though?
It's
Yes.
not.
I'm more subtle than that. I say as I bang open the ship door again.
Gonna go punch this wall.
A day or two later, Jim shows back up.
Jim, what was that filter you used on those pictures?
Oh, it's labeled. Let's see. It's the grandparents
Somewhere
taking
from-
photos filter.
Why?
You can
You
take
can
it
hold
back
the
off.
grandparent.
You're not that much older than me.
Jim's retired.
Yeah.
Not that much older than me.
Jim's like 50. He retired a little early, probably, but yeah, Jim's. He was 30. Yeah, he was at least 30 or so when the show was going on, and it's been
Jim's
over.
older than all of us.
Yeah, Jim came out of
Jim is
retirement for
old
this
enough.
gig.
Jim is old enough to be my father, not my grandfather.
He's still older than you.
Let's see. If you're 20 and he had you at 20, you're making
28.
40, so 50. Yeah, it'd be stretching it for Grandpa.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, when he first shows back up, though, he's maybe a little spooked.
What'd you do this time?
Nothing. Some sightseeing.
Uh-huh. What exploded?
Did you
Who
see
did
a
you-
killing?
Who did you see?
No, nothing like that. I've learned that lesson.
Uh-huh.
But I think somebody was following me down there.
They're following
Yeah,
us
we
up
know.
there, so.
Oh, okay.
We kind of
It-
sicked law enforcement on them.
It is known.
Oh, okay.
I'm more of a hands-on person, and I had to go have a chat with the people over there. So
Probably wasn't the best idea.
He didn't
I
go
like
fist fight him.
Yes, but that also includes, spooking them. And anything you said can and will be used against you, and will also be used to modify how they proceed to further investigate us, which will make the job of the law enforcement investigating them all the much harder,
you already have an in on their system. I don't really care about the law.
which cannot be used legally.
When have
Why are
we
you so bent out of shape about legalities all of a sudden?
Maybe even
when
a
have we
good
done
influence.
much legally?
I have been on a good influence. Where our streams are crossing here.
All right, but in the next day or two, you have got a copy of their pistol prototype created.
Okie dokie.
Like I said, it only had like a 10% success rate.
Mm-hmm.
So it does damage like a regular light pistol, and
Is it considered a +1 forged light pistol?
yes, it would be considered +1.
Okay.
Patrick Hull will have finished up whatever kind of armor you had him working on.
Alright.
Had you decided what kind of armor you were wanting?
I was going to go with I kind of thought of two things. It comes actually. I was going with there was a +1 nano weave suit, which is the most advanced medium armor. If possible, I'd like to add, what's the actual, I was trying to look at the actual, what it would give. Basically give me a +1 to saves.
Okay, like a resistance or something. Of resistance
Yes.
or something.
Yeah.
I'm sure they've got something equivalent of that. All right.
Mm.
So after session, I will dig out my actual DMG somewhere and figure out what that's going to cost and all that, and get it to you. But for the duration of this session, just assume that you have those two items.
Okay. So one of the ways that might actually make it less expensive, since I do in fact utilize a shield, I could have the nano weave suit be the +1, and my shield could grant me the resistance. If that would help the cost.
That would
anything
be.
like that.
Well, like I said, we'll look at it. We'll figure it out. Yeah, just assume it's got the appropriate pluses though.
All right.
All right. In their systems, I assume you're keeping up with their communications. Out of system.
Yep.
They have been instructed. One, they're spooked now. The guy Armando talks to comes back. They file that. And while the guy himself was like, okay, I think I bluffed my way out of it, everybody else is assuming they've been made. They know the Roustabout has not changed hands. So, Armando was obviously BSing.
Okay.
Which, maybe this guy's just a liar and a storyteller, but acting like he'd bought the ship. But it's also, they're siding, okay, we've been made.
Maybe I stole it. You don't know.
They pass this on to
No
their
one's
boss.
seen Achille for months.
They get word back to try and plant a tracker on the outside of the ship. And then basically bug out of the station. We'll try to pick them up the next place they go.
Okay.
So that night, not that there's really night on the station, but when they figure from y'all's day-night cycle, figure y'all are probably asleep. Some of them creep back into the station and start removing, or into the dock and start removing the cameras and motion detectors.
Just hear loud sprockets moving.
Air ratchets.
Yanni's going to be hovering over one of their heads.
Okay.
Drop a wrench on them.
And these are little bitty devices, and they basically run up this thing that kind of and kind of detaches it from the wall.
Mm-hmm. He's just gonna watch him for right now.
One of them begins to kind of approach the ship.
Okay.
Kind of from the side, not quite walking up to either docking bay door. But
Adrian's also gonna send a message to whomever is investigating them.
It's more like an old-fashioned car alarm to go off when they get too close.
Proximity alarm.
Woo! Woo!
Let's see. What would be a good name for
Bob.
Ebenezer.
Scrooge.
Inspector?
Rousseau.
Lestrade.
God.
Zenigata. Inspector Zenigata.
Well, I'm trying to think of a non-human name.
What have we done?
Sassafras. Josephine.
Sassafras, really?
Madoran.
Okay.
An Inspector Madoran who is, let's see, he's Kesh.
Inspector Staska.
He gave up a life of crime and is now fighting crime.
He'll just send a message like, "Hello."
And he will have contacted you when this investigation started.
Yeah.
Well, you get his office. It's it's late. He's not actually in at the moment.
Please leave a message at the tone.
Okay.
Well, you get the lieutenant or whatever on duty.
Yeah.
Whoever runs the inspector, not the night inspector.
The night crew.
But
Yeah,
yes,
so-
this is Madoran's office. How can I help you?
Yeah, those Scarlet Dust pirates you've been investigating.
Who are? Oh, Mr. Steele. Yes.
Well, they appear to be packing up, and one of them looks like they're trying to put a tracker on my ship.
He types up. We have your ship under observation with our own
I know.
equipment. And he pulls it and goes, "Yep, looks like he's approaching your landing gear."
I can see that.
He kind of zooms in. Yeah, it looks like the tracking device does not look like it'd be explosive or anything. I can throw the alarm. They can run in and grab him now before he does it, or we can let him actually place it and start walking away. At which point we get him for actually committing the crime as opposed to attempting.
Yeah, I'd say just go ahead and wait. I prefer this to stick.
And he doesn't take very long. The guy runs up. He finds a good spot in the landing gear that he figures, okay, when those pull up, everything is, it's concealed inside the ship, so make sure it won't get crushed.
Mm-hmm.
And then he very stealthily starts sneaking away. Yeah, and then 5 or 6 officers kind of come out of nowhere. They grab him. They grab the guy that had just, was just leaving the dock, having removed the surveillance equipment. You find out the next morning they also hit the hotel rooms. 2 of the men managed to escape elsewhere onto the station. They don't expect they'll be able to get off the station without being apprehended because they, they've got plenty of footage of their faces at this point.
Did one of them grab that central hub when
Yes.
they left? Adrian, he'll just go, well, he'll contact their office like, I assume you aware that I'm in Esper, yes?
Yes, it's in the file.
Yeah, well, I didn't know who these people were at first, and I wanted to figure out what was happening, what was going on. They appear to have taken the central hub they were using to spy on us. I did implant a tracker in it.
Oh, that'd be quite useful.
So if you want to use that to go find those others that got away,
Yeah, he'll immediately take that information from you, and
he'll
within an
hand it
hour
to him.
they've got him.
And once it's confirmed that they have them, Adrian will mentally disconnect his connection to that hub's system lock and deactivate it.
Okay.
He deactivates the system lock, not the thing.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
there's
I got you.
nothing to keep other people from getting into it.
So you spend another couple of days at the station, as the perps are processed. Completely blanking on that word too. They take statements from you because they're
Are they just taking statements from Adrian, or are they taking statements from all of us?
they're taking statements from all of you. Most of you had spotted him at some point. They know you had a direct interaction with him.
Yeah.
And you know,
That statement.
the guy
Saw
taking your
them.
statement just shakes his head at you. You knew we were watching him. Why did you spook him? I mean, I guess it worked out all right this time. But
I am a very cunning linguist, and
Oh,
and I
Oh, ow,
wanted
ow, ow,
to make
ow.
sure.
yeah, no, you're like weirdly loud for me.
Yeah, you
Weird.
did get pretty loud,
yeah,
actually.
he got a little louder than normal.
Not hugely
I
louder.
don't know what I did.
Mm. What is it?
Very excited now.
Yeah.
I just really want to see the people who are messing with my ship, my crew. Not, cat's obviously the captain, but you know what I mean.
But it's still your crew. I mean, any crew member looks at it as their crew. I mean,
I want to see the face of these people who are ostensibly trying to spy on me for whatever purposes.
for questionable reasons.
Yeah.
Why do I suddenly feel like I need to start playing circus music? Adrian says as he just sort of floats by.
Terrible it was whistling.
Stops him with the grand blade. Tink.
So anyway, they take your statements. You know, any recorded evidence you've got, they'll accept that. And like I said, the spying on you, following you around thing is some fairly minor, invasion of privacy sort of charges. The putting a tracker on your ship is a much bigger deal. The information they get off the hub lets them know they are part of a known wanted criminal organization.
I will also say that Adrian will unlock that for them because he is aware that there's a scrambler on it.
Okay.
So like before they get there, he's like, well, hold on, there's a scrambler on this. He'll just go ding, open it up, and then just hand it back, basically.
And and they've got especially in a system this big, they've got Esper's own staff that can handle making sure the self-destruct didn't go off and stuff like that. But
Yeah. He didn't know that.
they've got their guys in the system waiting to get a communication from the bosses.
Fair enough. Yeah.
And they've got people alerted on several of these other crucibles to spring into action if they manage to ping the actual location the messages are coming from.
Mm-hmm.
So a day or two passes. Their attempt to catch the guys further out didn't work. They were in one of the kind of further out crucibles, and they were messaging from a ship orbiting the crucible, which still made the communication lag almost nothing.
Yeah.
Because they were like 500 feet or 500 clicks from the crucible.
So they're probably synced up and ready to go almost immediately.
Yeah, and that's what happened is they started scrambling some ships before they could even get out of their docks. The presumably pirate ship had turned around and taken off somewhere.
Makes sense.
The Scarlet Dust Pirates are a relatively large organization as far as pirates go, and well entrenched in their little area. Everybody wants to know what you've done to piss them off that they're this far outside of their territory tracking you down. I don't know. We didn't do nothing.
I mean, last I heard
Angry cat noises.
the pirate crew that we went undercover to sting for the SDF took care of them. So,
But anyway, the stuff, the major charges they've got them busted on, they don't really need your help with. So they take a statement about the invasion of privacy stuff, and what you know, and then you're cut loose, you're free to go. They could potentially contact you for some follow up, but you shouldn't have to appear in the actual trial.
Good.
Now, you've done your forging, you've had your little adventure on the station.
mm-hmm.
What do y'all plan on doing now? Y'all have had a week and a half or so to catch your breath, even.
As I said, during that time, Cat would have still been occasionally poking the shadow net for any rumors on where Achille was going to.
And also, did we get any that older ship that the Gilbert's boss? Did we ever, what was his name again?
Didn't get it.
You didn't get the name of the captain of that other ship. The ship was not giving a transponder code, so y'all don't know what the ship's name was.
Don't know what the ship's name was, but we know it's the type of ship that they haven't used in a while.
Right. You knew it was basically a retired military class. It was either Eldori or Dindis. I think it was Eldori, an Eldori model.
Because though, if it's a older warship that was sold off or salvaged, some form of documentation would exist. You just have to simply look up what kind of model of ship that was.
All right, roll me a gather information.
The investigation, I believe, correct?
Yes, I'm sorry. 5011 versions of D20 float around up here.
Really terrible roll. Really terrible roll.
Yeah, you basically get online and you kind of ask, hey, Eldori military, when did you sell off these destroyers from, 50, 60 years back? And you get none of your business.
One of the things I could do is I give that idea or information to Kat, who she can use ShadowNet and probably have better success than me.
I don't know that the ShadowNet would have a ton of information on military surplus from, way back. Other than if somebody had something for sale currently.
Oh, that'd be fun.
But yeah, you could certainly have Kat check and see if anybody's been buying or selling old destroyers. Because even the old ones like that is something those governments tend to keep up with.
Yeah. Yeah, like buy this military vessel. Why do you need that? Reasons.
Well, modern day people can buy tanks. When the military sales went off, though, they removed the gun and
Yeah.
But you can have it just as a collectible or whatever. I had a buddy was stationed overseas when the Soviet Union was falling apart. Could not convince his wife to let him buy a Russian tank and bring it back. Would have bought it basically dirt cheap. Could have brought it over here, run over a few old cars, and then sold it off for 3 times what he bought, but couldn't talk her into it. Because
Honey, it's an investment.
Because the Air Force would ship one vehicle over there for you and one vehicle back. And his thing was, we just sell our car, we buy the tank, let the military ship it over for us. But she wasn't having it.
Yeah, I can imagine.
He goes, especially moving to Alabama, he knows he could have found somebody around here with some broken down cars in their yard that would have let him run over them just to ride along with him. Okay, so that's how Hull is. Hull is tracking down information on the destroyer. We're trying to. The ship destroyer, not the guy destroyer. Are the rest of you doing anything to investigate and try to find out on the information on the killing?
Like,
all of the hot micing can stop, please.
yeah.
Sorry.
Just flip it up while you do that.
Yeah.
That'll work.
Thank you. Oh.
All right, so investigation. Hull was trying to find out on the destroyer. Wasn't having a whole lot of luck.
Not having luck, but maybe someone else could. Cat?
She's already. I already said she was searching the shadow net. I
thanks.
don't know if that would be anything continual.
So you searching specifically for Achille, or were you going to search for anything else?
Probably just Achille. She figures if they sold one ship, they probably sold 30, 40, 70, 100.
Okay, give me you got the information.
Not much better. 15.
Investigation. I'll remember it eventually. 15's a little better.
Would we consider her proficient at it since it's shadow net?
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
Then it would be 19.
Okay. The person asking for information on Achille has gotten a response. The response is cryptid. It's not cryptic. It's not you can't just peruse and find out what their exact interaction was. But you know they've gotten a response, so somebody somewhere has seen him. Let's see, with a 19, you dig around, and you find a small kind of forum where there. You find basically it's like a conspiracists forum.
Wow.
It's the Red Yarn forum or something. Where they're discussing the fact that, somebody's asking for information on Achille Vasher. Somebody's asked information about the Roustabout. There are pictures of some of the Roustabout crew in this forum.
Current crew or old crew?
It's a few screen saves from when y'all were fighting at Stella's concert. They've got some of the footage from the station above Esperella. Your initial, your first fight as a group, basically.
Aw, she saves him.
They've got some of the basically police reports that y'all have left littering behind you. And it's basically these conspiracy guys going, what the F is up with these people? Why is this old reality show star, he's got a crew running around in his old ship, and, they're pissing off pirates, they're, one of them claims to have got it, claims that he has information of a megacorp that's been looking for him. And it's
not wrong.
And you find a map of all the places they know you've been.
Guys, we've got a fan club.
There's lots of gaps in the information.
Seriously?
The Witch of the West Woods planet. They don't have that one listed. Obviously, where you just were isn't listed. They don't know you're in the capital yet, apparently.
I'm
So,
surprised.
with these current police reports, and all that, you have no doubt somebody will be adding that little pin to their map here soon.
She's going to post on there. Yeah, and I've heard Vasher's just disappeared from his home above Esperella and hasn't been seen for months. No one knows where he's gone. Has anyone heard anything on that? Much the crazy detail searching.
There
Crazy.
are
Side of
lots of
Reddit.
theories that immediately start popping up over the next couple hours. And then one guy gets on with a more factual post about all these archaeologists that
Again,
are
the hot
filing
mic.
complaints about him.
Oh, you're also hot micing too. You're breathing directly into it.
Apologies.
Let's see. So yeah, you know, he's got these reports of people complaining that hey, he tried to leave us on this planet. You know, he told us his other crew was be picking us up, but he didn't tell them. You know, thank God they came and checked on us before they left. You know, it's not complaints like filing it with the law. Just they're getting
Yeah.
on their live journals and whatnot and bitching.
Oh
Getting on
God,
the
live
Twitters
journal.
and of all the things I hope don't make it into the future.
My tweets,
Oh, man.
my like history.
Dude, you got people out there archiving everything.
Yeah, I mean, but still, we can dream.
Forget your tweets. Imagine your search history.
Oh no, I just had a bad thought.
What's that?
Go on.
My tweet book.
Oh no.
I'm not pleased that you have spoken this evil into existence.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Somewhere
How
there's
dare you?
somewhere there's a monkey paw just going.
So yeah, so you start staying active in this group.
Somehow has like a whiteboard with string connecting things at some point, just in the gap.
Hull walks in. Old school. I like it. Walks out.
For some reason, we had string and a whiteboard. I don't know why.
You're welcome.
Because it's a ship owned by some old guys, you know.
He couldn't figure out how to use the actual like digital whiteboard, so
Look, the digital ones are nice until you get EMP'd that one time to start over again. String is EMP proof. Let's see. So you're kind of keeping these guys jazzed up.
oh yeah, just tossing occasional little tidbits of information that they haven't gotten. Nothing that's gonna like, definitely not the planet. That none of the planets that they have not found yet. She's not tossing any of those there, but maybe like before, they get the leak on them being on the station and being kind of stalked. She'll be like, I was just at the crucible over the Capitol and saw da 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 da. The police grabbed these guys. It was the weirdest damn thing.
Within a day of you
Heard they
posting
were
that,
some
they
kind of
got
pirates.
all the police reports posted of what went on. And one of them talks about the fact that the Roustabout is still docked in the Crucible. Hey,
Some
if you're
big
in the station,
jackass
you
walks
could go by
by.
and talk to him.
Oh, well, damn. We should go, guys. At least out of the station.
What did you do?
Something amazingly intelligent, but we just might get the fan club.
We have a fan club?
Now,
Should
nobody
show
else
the
in the
guys the forum,
conversation.
like-
Nobody else in the conversation is saying that they're, nobody else is in the capital system from what information they revealed. You were the one going, "Hey, I'm here and I've seen them."
Yeah, still, she's like,
One thing that does crop up is somebody has found financial transaction reports or paperwork or whatever where Achille hired mercenaries.
Would
Recently?
that be us?
No. This would be the
Wait,
guy.
are we-
Remember, he had security guys with him on that last planet y'all found him on. He had his archaeologists, and then he had the crew of that ship that were basically mercs he had hired as security.
Yeah.
I heard he didn't hire like the mercs he had on retainer first.
Well, the new mercs don't keep information from him. They're trustworthy.
They're
Or at
trustworthy
least,
because
or
they're
at least
not-
have not proven themselves untrustworthy yet.
Yeah, he's known him for a day.
They have a good reputation.
You have a good Yelp review. Okay.
That does get the conversation up and going again as they're going. What did he need these marks for? These guys have a reputation for being kind of rough. On the lawful side of things, they're not killers for hire exactly. They're not assassins.
That's us. We're the killers for
They
hire.
are security, hostage extraction. It's kind of their specialty kind of thing. They're just known to be rough.
Did it give like a name or company or anything?
They get the company name, and some of that you could look up on the regular net or regular sim as far as information on them.
Passes it over.
All right, what am I doing?
Any information you can find on these guys? Like, apparently, these are the guards Achille hired, or at least their company.
Fun. Alrighty then. Let
Alright.
me do that.
Alright, so roll me a computer use.
Computer investigation.
Or, yeah, I guess it'd be investigation.
I mean, it's the same score. I just need to know which one to roll.
Roll investigation. As you look into Bright Star Security Consultants.
I mean, a 10, unless for some reason something Cat did gave me an advantage. In which case, 27, if advantage.
She could give you... Go ahead and use advantage. She could give you links directly to some of the financial stuff, which give you a little leg up.
Okay. So, yeah, 27 then.
Alright, so... You get kind of their main squad. It's mostly just the one squad, and then they've got regular folks that hire on for additional muscle when they need it.
Mm-hmm.
You get some pictures of them. The pilot, Richard Sanderson. You're pretty sure he's the one you spoke to when you showed up on that world.
Right.
Jason, please tell me this isn't the A-Team.
This is not the A-Team.
Just check.
Why, did the name Richard Sanderson mean something?
No, because I can already imagine you doing something like that.
No. I mean, yes, I would absolutely do something like that, but I didn't in this case. Let's see. The head of the organization is Hans Kent. Let's see. Both of them are human. Bobby Cook is human. They have a Valna. And they have a Mechoroid. That's kind of part of their stable, main group. Big robot, about the size of the ones y'all run into in the base. It's a little weird because they actually have his name listed, where usually
a robot.
Where usually the robots, usually when they have mechanized reinforcements, they don't give them names. But Bluto's got a name.
Bluto.
Bluto.
Is it a commonly recognized model of robot and everything?
Relatively, yeah. Pretty high dollar.
It doesn't look like the Ekajati robot or anything.
No. It's probably the human or Silurian equivalent, but with modern tech. I totally didn't use its stats for the Ekajati robots, I promise.
Sure, Jan.
Now, the financial records you've got also have an additional consultant signed on. by the name of Tana Verkel. She is a dentist and has quite the reputation as a cybermancer.
We found your arch nemesis.
She's been in the business a very long time. She has, like I said, quite a reputation. And she is one of the ones that they will periodically hire on extra when they have a specific task. Now, this has got the guys in the conspiracy forum very excited, too, because that's a Merc company, period, is expensive, but she probably costs as much as the rest of them combined. So,
hey, you have a fan.
What is this old man into?
The show was about a lot of innocuous things. It wasn't strictly about the Ekajati, right?
No.
I don't think it was ever about the Ekajati.
There was one show where they stumbled across some, just decimated ruins. About very little left. In the last
Isn't
season.
that the first planet we went to? The first time we found the ruins?
No. It was a similar setup as far as, this room was like the first floor of that one. No, he sent you to that one because he had figured out that one was probably related to the one that he had briefly seen. But there wasn't much to go on in his site, so it was a small section of one show. Like I said, towards the end of the run, but he got interested in it and kept fiddling with it in retirement just as a hobby.
Mm.
And then it became more than a hobby. But Adrian comes up with the kind of home base of the Bright Star crew.
Okay.
Let's see, with the 27... With the 27, you even managed to find the records that they have docked at their home base.
Like, currently?
Like a couple of days ago.
Adrian will pause and go, well, they're currently docked at their home base.
Which is... How far away would that be for us?
That far.
A distance.
Yes, a distance. Really just a couple of days' travel. They are based out of a system... Well... They are based out of a system very close to a crucible system. So it would be one jump from here, and then a couple of days traveling the next system over.
We could either show up on their doorstep, which... or we could...
Oh, come on. Catch a heavily...
Give them a call.
A heavily armed group of mercs. Catch them by surprise. What's the worst that could happen?
Same thing that would happen if someone caught us by surprise.
We'd kill them.
Lots of gunfire.
Yep.
And or Esper powers.
Did it list if any of the mercs were Espers? You did mention the Cybermancer, but did the other
as far
guys
as the rest
have any...
of them, it doesn't say for sure.
She's gonna bring that up on the.
And that's the sort of
forum.
thing a lot of times they will mention, because Espers tend to get paid more.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
So you think it's a pretty safe bet that they're probably not.
Oh, jeez. Adrian will sort of pop by and is like, are you on the net again?
Can be.
I'm kind of curious to see how bad of a reaction it'll get if you sort of poke the bear, let them know that the entire crew that Vasher hired before is a whole crew of Espers.
They probably know that if they've got the police reports.
Maybe. Would they?
The police reports would not necessarily... The part accessible by the public would not necessarily call you out like that. But they would comment on if Esper power was used in the conflict. So they would know somebody. They would know at least a few of you were.
And considering it broadcasted the
Oh, yeah.
that fight back at Stella's,
I forgot about that.
that was broadcasted up until I think a head was cut off, or including a head getting cut.
The initial broadcast included the head getting cut off. Rebroadcasts after that, it kind of depended on the rules in individual systems.
Yeah, but internet probably has like the one with the head
Oh, yes.
cut off,
It's
clipped
out
to like
there for
15
people that
different
really want to see
vines
it.
Space Telemundo absolutely has the head getting cut off.
with like sound effects and everything.
Oh, all right, let's see.
I mean, I could paint a target on our back like that if you want to, or call us out, but
Nah, it's fine. I'm being obnoxious. Don't mind me. I mean, not like you usually do, but
I'm well used to being obnoxious. I think all of us have gotten used to.
I was about to say, how is that different from normal you?
Come to find it as a quirk of yours, Adrian.
So, want to go visit the base?
Yes.
Let's call. Well, okay. What do we do if we go visit the base? Do we just walk up there like, "Hey, you've been hanging out with our old friend Vasher. What for, bro? We're a little insulted. We got dumped."
Ooh, that's hitting too close to real life, guys.
In my case, literally.
We're here on behalf of all
yeah.
of the archaeologists that
That's actually not a
left
joke.
behind.
I was laid off like last Wednesday, so
Oh.
Well, now, y'all are still getting paid, sort of. Y'all still on retainer, so, you know.
no. Bastard guy.
Still, but.
So what it comes
Was
down to... Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
We're here on behalf of the guys who left on the planet. When are you going to tell us to pick them up, man?
True.
Did Vasher take his mercs with him? Because we just had the archaeologist, right?
Right.
So
Yeah, the mercenaries owned the ship
Yes.
he was in at the time.
left with him.
Yeah,
So ostensibly they would have had to drop him off somewhere.
Would we be able to get the information on their ship? Because we know it's docked.
Yeah, you've got the name of their ship and stuff, yeah.
Okay. And theoretically, would we be able to see if it had hit any crucibles after leaving system?
Oh, they had jumped to Sharis, 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 yeah, Sharis, which is a fairly minor galactic system. It's got a crucible. It's on one of the trade routes. It is the system that the Merc's home base is like the next system over. So they jumped to that crucible. You know, we're there for a day or so, and then presumably headed. Or actually, you know, because you've seen the thing where they got home and docked, you know, in their home system.
Would we be able to trace any more precisely their flight path?
Not really. Space is so big that you don't necessarily have traffic control sort of stuff outside of a major system.
And probably wouldn't be able to get into their computers from here.
No, more than likely not.
Just need to be in the same system.
Well, you know, they'd have to have their, you know, if they're docked at home, the ship may be shut, maybe shut down to conserve power or any number of things. Or just not connected to the Wi-Fi. So it seems to be coming
It's usually
down
how
to,
it is when you get home.
do you want to call ahead and for sure alert them that you're basically coming, or do you want to go surprise them? Not necessarily violently surprise, but just show up knocking on the door.
Hi, Candygram.
Their offices are in one of the major cities on the planet, so it's not like you'd be going out and surprising them at their compound or something.
Even though we're aware of where that is.
They have their own little supply depot outside of any of the major cities, yes.
Yeah.
It is, in fact, probably where they even land their vehicle or land their ship.
Well, I was just say we just happen to be in the same area. Or find out another reason to be there if we have. Just looking for work.
So I'm still asking: are you calling ahead, or are you just going?
I throw one vote for going and just not alerting them, but definitely not making any kind of aggressive moves. As far as like just showing up and breaking into their office or anything.
Yeah, I can work with that.
Yeah.
All right. So when you say all in favor, basically everybody's hands go up.
All right. A 4 day trip. Anyone need anything before we leave?
Adrian just turned to Jim and was like, so, you feel like pseudo ambushing the people that your old boss abandoned you for?
He goes, technically I think we're still on retainer. And it depends on what you mean by ambush. These mercs haven't done anything that I know of, so,
Not gonna get violent.
But yeah, I'm all for surprising them to see if they'll, unask some information if we do that.
That's the plan, yes.
Alright, I'll prep the ship.
Anyone need anything else from the Crucible before we leave? Last call.
I got what I need.
Okay.
I got my armor. So shiny, I love it. And also, since before you went to ask, I opened a box. Space Cinnabons!
There's 5 in the freezer. We're good.
Y'all load up on the Cinnabon before you leave.
I take one last jog around the park.
Okay.
Then come back.
Also, Armato, or Decker, you had mentioned that Armato wanted to do some shopping.
Yes.
So we will say you have done that at some point. So if there's something you want to buy out of the book, just go ahead,
Check. I'll check. I'll look it up right now.
Yeah. All right. Jim was technically already prepping the ship because as soon as Kat, posted her, "Hey, I'm here and I've seen him," and they started going wild. It's like, "Oh yeah, we might need to get out of here."
Good match.
So half hour later, y'all get clearance. Y'all launch off from the Crucible dock. Before you get too far from the Crucible, even you've synced up.
Mm-hmm.
I forget if it's like 15 minutes or 30 minutes or whatever it is to sync up. And then you jump to Sharis, which is basically instantaneous. So you just kind of pop in. You get this little, welcome to the Sharis system. Oh, you're leaving already, as you just truck it out and out of the system.
Bye.
It's the one stoplight in the middle of the road type of system.
It's a relatively minor system on a trade route. As minor as any system with a Crucible is. But minor enough that their tourism board or whatever, immediately shoot you a message when you show up.
Yeah.
Please don't leave.
Oh. Some friends of mine were in a werewolf campaign one time that I forget what little town in Ohio or somewhere it was set, that the woman running it contacted their like tourism board or whatever in this little town, and they just sent her just stacks of information, just flooded her with information on this town. You know,
God, I wish I
'cause
could remember what
they
town
thought
it
she was
is.
interested in moving up there, so it was just like, here's everything we've got. You know, history of the town, all this stuff. Something Falls, I forget what it was now.
I have a family up there, so I probably know where it is, and could probably be like, "Yep."
So, you know, lots of information to run for a city that, you know, none of our players had ever been to. So, so yeah, a few days, you know, 3 or 4 days after that, you arrive in the appropriate system. It's not a super heavily populated planet. There's, you know, 5 or 6 million people. Really only one major city. It's another one of those, kind of like Esperella. I mean, not with the large Luddite population, but like Esperella or like the colony that the Crazy Cat Lady lived on. Well, there's lots of rural area. There's lots of hunting. It's got enough mineral riches to sustain, you know, the population, but it's never going to be a major industrial center or anything.
Yeah.
You know, but it gets by. I mean, not cost of living, but living conditions are pretty good. I mean. Y'all land without issue. You know, the traffic control for the planet is like, oh, you know, welcome to whatever the system's called, Merksville. You know, they ask you know, are you here for, you know, business or pleasure?
Yeah.
Just, you know, real basic kind of questions, you know. You go, yes, and the person talks, oh, okay, a little bit of both. All right. The city's a fairly cosmopolitan population. You see a little bit of everybody wandering around. Nothing about the town really sticks out to you. You know, just during the campaign, you've been to, you know, half a dozen planets and towns about like this. So.
Yeah.
You can look up in any communication directory. You can look up the name and get the address for this consultant firm.
Yeah, and he will do so.
You know, and they got their main office here in town.
This is the most heavily protected building. Does it stick out?
It's in a regular old office building with half a dozen other, you know, firms of various sorts.
Okay.
Now, their compound out of the town, that's probably fortified a little bit.
Oh yeah.
But this is just the office where the business folks do their work. You know, maybe Kent would show up as the owner of the place periodically, but you will probably get there and talk to secretaries or, you know, vice presidents or something.
Okay. Do we want to go in with a tiny, obnoxious kleptomaniac invisibly first? Or do we just want to go up on the front door and be like, hi, how's it going?
I'm fine with both options.
I can go in.
What's Hull's vote?
I actually am for Yanni in this case because he's a good scout.
I want to show off my armor, guys.
Fourth right, sneaky.
He got new armor.
Yeah. Well, I also have new armor. I'd rather have to use it.
Okay, so seems to be send Yanni in. Would Yanni be able to kind of poke their systems too while they're in there? See if anything security. They do have that technomancer. or cybermancer on retainer. So we could see if anything's protected. We might not even have to go in to get the information.
Could. Might be fun, actually.
Which one?
Adrian will send Yanni over.
All right. Yanni has no problem entering the office. And there's,
He's
you know,
gonna-
shiny pins laying around to distract him, and
Yeah, that'd be fun if he was in control of himself at the moment.
you know, little shiny, you know, miniature versions of, you know, soldiers
The Newton Cradle.
and like military equipment, done up as decoration on shelves. He could go wild if he was in control of himself.
Yeah,
He's in work mode.
He's in work mode.
That's true. He does most often get distracted by that sort of thing when not specifically on a task.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what do you do? What are you doing as you pilot Yanni in?
He is going to tell. He's gonna have Yanni just sort of look around for right now, see what's going on, see what's what.
You see a couple of secretaries in there working.
Mm-hmm.
One is a human female, and one is a male. Is it Mordecai? No, not Mordecai. Francis's race, the reptilian guys.
Matokai.
Montokai, thank you.
Okay.
It's actually Jade and Francis.
I'm now picturing Francis, but in like the Groucho glasses with like a fake goatee off the end of his snout.
That'd be something.
I need it.
And you know they're both working at their stations. They're chewing the fat back and forth about some local drama, apparently.
Yeah.
See if you can find any files on their mission with Achille.
Yeah, he'll go look around, see if there's anything that might look like some place that would hold mission files.
Probably one of the computers.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, he's not gonna go looking through like the receptionist's computer.
Just while she's working.
Like,
he
hi,
drifts
let
back
me
into kind of the main office that's back behind the receptionist. And I say reception, it looks more like a full office. Just one of the desks is oriented up, you know, close to the front door, the door in where, you know, they would act as a receptionist in addition to whatever else they do.
Yeah.
Back in what is obviously the boss's office. No one's there presently. The computer is switched off. There's no filing cabinets or anything like you might see at a modern day office because everything is electronic at this point. There are trophies and souvenirs on the walls and shelves. You know, one badly damaged, you know, chest plate from a suit of armor that you're guessing is probably one of one of the bosses where, you know, he took a bad hit and, you know, made it out alive though, so he just kind of hung the wrecked armor up. A few weapons hung on the walls, but again, it's more trophy souvenir looking stuff than.
Yeah. You said the computer was off?
Yes, it looks like it's switched off. You know, looks fairly top of the line. You know, office equipment. You know, Yanni could certainly walk over there and poke the on button.
I put what the armor looks like in chat.
What, your armor or?
The armor I just bought. I bought Centurion armor.
Oh, okay.
I'm broke as shit now.
Is that like powered armor or?
No, it's just heavier armor than what he had.
Oh, okay.
I mean, luckily we have like 18,000 in ship funds, so you're good.
Yeah, I keep forgetting to make y'all pay like docking fees and stuff, but that wouldn't be putting a dent in that. So.
Yeah, Yanni will poke the on button.
It's one of the wrenches.
You know, it boots up almost immediately because it's not Windows 10.
Turn all the things.
Sign on screen comes up.
Okay.
Apparently, it requires a password and a like palm print or something.
Yanni's gonna wait for like 1 minute or two, see if like anything goes off to have anybody come in here.
Okay. You sit there, nothing goes on. The computer, it just sits there waiting. It's not particularly prompting you. And this kind of model, it'll probably sit there 5 or 10 minutes and then shut itself back off if you don't do anything.
Okay. Adrian will then use Black Hat through Yanni to try to hack into the computer.
Okay. Let's see.
Some paranoia from the Ekajati base now.
Standard paranoia.
Oh, he went through all the other ones regularly.
All right. Let's see.
I'm checking if I have something. 1 second. I don't know if it'll help.
Okay, it has got a system lock on it.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm sure you were probably expecting.
Yeah.
So on Black Hat, what do you need to overcome system locks?
I automatically overcome any system lock of rank 5 or lower.
All right. Okay, because you can use it. You can use it at rank 5. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's not that I can use it; it's automatically at rank 5.
Warlock stuff.
That's right. That's right. This isn't one where you're sacrificing spell slot sorts of things. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I need to check one thing on the Cybermancer. And the level you cast at is just based off your level?
Mm-hmm. Cybermancers cap out at rank 5.
So that is max level.
Yep.
That seems weird, because y'all are what, level 9 now?
10.
Or y'all 10? That's right, because I had y'all level up last time.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Cybermancers cap out at rank 5, then we get 1 6th level power, 1 7th level, 1 8th level, and 1 9th level. Later on.
Okay. Is there a higher level version of System Lock?
Don't believe so. From reading through it, all Espers kind of cap out their powers at rank 5 unless they start sacrificing things. But Cybermancer specifically, their powers cap out at 5 regardless.
Okay.
That seems to be the thing. Oh, actually, no, I get more additionals later on.
Okay. Well, this has got a level 5 system lock on it, so. But with a little effort, you can shut it down for like a minute or 10 minutes or whatever it was.
10 minutes.
Yeah. All right, so you're in their system.
Yep. He's gonna look for anything on Achille Vasher.
You see you see the information on when Achille contacted them. On what kind of the details of the job. He was, and he was pretty straightforward with him. There was an archaeological site basically out in the middle of absolutely nowhere that he was taking him to. There was a very, very strong non-disclosure agreement. Though mercs in general do not talk about, their
They don't kiss and tell.
employer. Yeah. You don't last very long in the business if you do that. But but this is there's a very heavy penalty financially if they break this NDA. And he makes a notes in there that he's a little concerned about that. Just based on wondering if he's really been given all the information. But they upped the price, and the client was willing to meet it, so they'll take the shot.
Yeah.
There's a clause in there that basically if Achille had misrepresented anything, they could duck out without any penalties. They still get paid. There was limited. There's the write up on things they won't do. Anything that would count as a felony, they're kind of like, nope.
Yeah.
They don't say that,
kidnap children.
minor violations aren't a thing, but it's implied.
So they won't kidnap children. Good.
Yeah, like I said, they're more security and hostage retrieval and stuff like that, so that's... But, if he was robbing an archaeological site, maybe they'd look the other way.
I'm starting to get the crew from Atlantis vibe now.
I've never seen that movie.
It's actually really good. I recommend.
Okay, so is there any
Very
more information?
anti-Disney film.
Like if he was still with them when they left that planet?
They picked him. They were communicating. It was via comms kind of thing. They were sending messages back and forth. They picked him up at the Crucible close to Esperella. Him and Basil.
Okay.
It doesn't record exactly where they were going. He was going to have the coordinates, and since it was a site he had discovered, he didn't want records other places of. He wasn't giving them the coordinates to have on their system where somebody could hack in and jump his claim.
No one would ever do that.
Who would ever?
There's a request in there that he needs a cybermancer. They've got one kind of on retainer that they could contact. He seemed a little surprised at the fact that Vasher didn't balk at the price. Because Verkel's top tier, but she requires top tier pay as well. And again, he speculates on what Cybermancer, ancient site. He's kind of wondering if this guy has found some old site with working tech or something, or if it's really an archaeological something, or if he's trying to salvage tech to sell, maybe. It's none of his business though. Vasher's got. He looks through. You see where he's looked through Vasher's record, and guy seems to be on the up and up. Doesn't seem to be a lot of dirt in his past. So, so you see where they left out when they arrived back. Sometime later, of course.
Yeah.
He talks about the fact that they dropped Achille off at Shadris. Left him in the crucible with Verkel.
Okay.
He was.
And Basil?
Yeah. Left both of the.
Basil's just somewhere back on the planet.
Where'd I go? Leave me.
Yeah, left him and his employee with Verkel. He had some more work for her, but he didn't think he was going to need the mercenaries at this point.
Okay.
But he's paid them for the next month. Basically to just stay on their compound.
That sounds familiar.
He's like they're prepped because he basically told them his previous employees would probably track them down at some point. Kent doesn't know what to make of this. Well, I shouldn't say previous employees. The other crew he has on retainer. He doesn't know why they would want to track down the mercenaries. And there's more speculation about what is this guy into that, we discovered some weird stuff on that planet, this working base of alien tech. Apparently, him and his crew were never allowed in there. Yeah. They ended up just guarding the ship and letting Bluto patrol. But, he didn't leave the planet with anything. As far as tech, he mentions the kind of weird TV shows they were watching on the way back. But... So by all indications, he swung by here, filled out some of the paperwork, and him and his boys are at the compound, for the next month. Which is,
how did he...
boring, but they're getting paid for it, so...
How did he get off-world?
That being said, you said they were dropped off at a location?
Yes, the system that y'all jumped to before coming here, they were left at that crucible. Presumably to travel to wherever he was going from here. Basically, his deal with Achille is done when that month is up. And then he essentially hired Verkel. It's kind of on a separate contract, which doesn't involve Bright Star at this point. He thinks it's a little odd, but he's dealt with eccentric rich folk before, so.
Okay.
I vote we don't go meet them at the compound.
Let's find out. Now we have another lead to go. Let's find Achille.
They didn't have a ship, so they would have had to
charter one.
One, or if Verkel... Does it say if Verkel has a ship?
It doesn't really have any personal information on her. They have a personnel file on her with like some of her work record and stuff. But as far as they've got a comm address they can contact her at. They don't have like a street address to her house or a list of vehicles she owns or anything weird like that. You get the impression she does this sort of contracting work for various groups. She's freelance basically. But she's worked with Bright Star several times. They've got a high opinion of her, but they can only use her when they're really being bankrolled by somebody big. And from what you know of Achilles got some money, but this has got to be putting a decent dent in what he's in what he's got access to.
Yeah.
You know, he's rich, but this is some high dollar stuff he's been running around doing lately.
Throwing around money like he's dying or something.
Dying or trying to find a dying race.
Dying
Or
or
a dead race.
or trying to get something he's become obsessed with.
Yeah.
Obsession will make you do, dumb things sometimes.
He is approaching Ekajati levels of obsession.
If that's the theory I want to stick with, far be it from me to stop you.
Sorry, Primarin.
Well, the fact that the truth is though, if that was the case, then why would he need a location of the homeworld?
Make him all knowledge.
Alright, so how are y'all proceeding from here? Y'all... Cat has voted for not going directly to the base, apparently.
Honestly, I want to say the base might be a dead end.
Or a trap.
Yep.
Probably both.
In the computer, you can also find, in your 10 minutes is probably running, you have a lot of information to dig through, but... And you can find the comm codes to call, the compound if you wanted to. It's not listed in the regular phone book, but they've got it in their directories here.
I'll say as his 10 minutes are running out, he will compose an encrypted message from this guy's own computer and send it to the compound from this computer and say, Vasher lied to you. And then he'll leave.
Leave the computer going, or do you shut the computer back down?
No, he shuts the computer down.
Okay.
And like the last bit of his time is he's gonna wipe the trace. Actually, no, he doesn't have to anymore. Cyber masking.
You automatically leave no trace.
Yep.
It's pass without trace, but instead of for rangers, it's for computer nerds.
Yep. So he'll send that. And he'll say Vasher lied to you, and then he'll shut the computer down and call Yanni back.
Okay. So everybody's back on the ship, both physically and mentally.
Yep.
Yeah, and Adrian will share everything he learned. I'm like, well, back to the Crucible, I guess.
Do we want to call the compound? Or no? Do we want any interaction with these guys? Or do we just want to...
I mean, we can, if you want to.
You said they had an NDA, so... Depend on how upright they plan on being.
Well, part of their contract is if Vasher is withholding things from them, they do have the right to break it.
Well, he was misrepresenting the nature of the job.
Yeah.
If they were going on, a murder spree versus an archaeological dig or something.
Yeah.
Yes, but I do believe misrepresenting the nature of the job might also include them potentially fighting a race of immortal energy beings that have battleships.
I mean, do we really want to drag anyone else into this, though, as far as knowing about that?
Okay, he pissed off somebody with battleships.
So paranoid.
It's done us good so far.
Has it really?
As far as we know.
It's not paranoia because everyone is trying to kill us.
Yeah, no kidding.
Not everyone. I mean, Vasher hasn't tried to kill you. He just keeps leaving you behind. It's completely different.
Killing my heart.
Hey, you withheld information from him first. You
Break
started this.
My heart.
You started this distrust.
I was his biggest fan.
Aramonto got rid of his Achille Vasher body pillow because of the.
Those were never
didn't get-
authorized anyway. Those were all bootleg.
He didn't get rid of it. It's in his room with the what's his old crown plate to it.
Just against, like, stabbed through the wall in the cargo bay.
All right, so y'all calling him, or y'all just going to beat feet?
I can call him if you want me to.
What can it hurt at this point? They're apparently expecting a call from us, so hey.
Might as well. Alrighty. Adrian, I'll just-
Block our signal, of course, you know. I assume you usually do, but for the audience, block our signal.
Well, I
And,
mean, I can't ever be traced.
honestly, you said if there's not any immediate communication like with Crucible, there's a slight delay, correct? Or would it just
From
be a
here
message?
to a Crucible, yeah, there'd be a slight delay.
We're on the same planet.
No, this is the next system over from where the system with the Crucible.
Oh.
It's 2 or 3 days travel from that Crucible here.
I thought it was the same planet for some reason.
So I want to know if we could actually simulate it to where it was a longer delay, like we were further away from their position.
Yeah, that'd be fairly easy to do, actually. You know, it mostly consists of you get the response from them, and you wait a couple of 5 minutes before you send it. But with Adrian's skill, yeah, it'd be no problem to set something like that up to make it appear to somebody just casually answering a call that there's this delay.
Like a VPN mask.
Basically.
It's basically what Adrian's permanently under now, but yeah.
Okay. Who am I doing the talking?
Yeah, unless you want me to do it.
No.
Are you sure? I'm pretty good at it.
He is a people person.
You are great at what you do, which is both being ship's counselor and beating the living shit out of stuff when the need arises.
Yes.
But I'll take this one. You can have the next one.
He's a counselor
hold you to that.
specializes in tough love.
I'm gonna regret being held to that, but okay. Yeah, she'll just be like, hello, Brightstar, we're contacting you in regards to... You would have told him about the message you sent, correct? The Achille lied to you message?
He would have mentioned that he did it, yeah.
We're contacting you in regards to the message you would have received.
You get the response back, and you recognize his voice. This is the voice of the ship pilot that you had talked to when you first arrived. Did we ever name that world? No, because it was an uncharted one. Where your secret base currently is.
Yeah.
Where we hope it still is.
We shall dub this planet Sanctuary for
this
purposes
guy.
of keeping up with what it is or where it is.
That'll work.
So yeah, this is the pilot you talked to on Sanctuary.
Mm-hmm.
His immediate response is basically, well, I'll be damned. Vasher said y'all track us down. I guess y'all want to talk to the boss? Yeah, let me get the boss. A minute later, Hans Kent gets on. This is Kent. What can I do for you? Yeah, you've said this is in regard to the Achille job, or the Vasher job.
Yes.
I'm going to assume you got our message, and I'm going to elaborate on the fact of it.
What
He
is it
did
that you think he...
misrepresent. what he was doing. While it is not illegal in the broad sense of the law, there are certain groups out there that are interested in preventing his research.
You
And
kind of implied that.
Trying to think of good words.
You don't come to a mercenary group as, high dollar as us, shall we say. As top shelf as us. If you're not worried about something, pretty rough showing up.
Old destroyers, like decommissioned destroyers, are some of the things that may be showing up.
Yeah, I'll admit that's a little heavier than he had told us about, but I also only have your word for that. No, no offense to you, man.
Adrian immediately
Show him,
spins
yeah,
the
show him
entire
the,
thing.
show him the footage.
Oh wow!
Show the footage with the destroyer. Almost killed us.
I'd like to point to Exhibit A.
And in the background, he recognizes the crucible y'all are at because it had those distinctive splotches on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he rattles off the make and model of that style of destroyer. Man, nobody's used those in decades now. I mean,
Some
it'd
people
still
are
be a rough
attached
something to run
the
into.
past.
But,
We understand. Basically, you're not going to kiss and tell. We get that.
you don't stay around in this business long if you do.
Yeah. But what we may be dealing with is something old and something angry. And we would like to prevent it from dealing with the universe on a larger scale.
He just looks puzzled. What kind of old and angry something is Mr. Vasher poking, for lack of a better word?
I'd rather not say.
I mean, that the first site we were researching, or the first site they were digging through, it was some old ruins. Obviously alien, not anything I recognized. The other one was presumably a working base, though. We were never let in.
Yeah, they had that one pretty much locked down. Smart
Does he say
folks,
we were
great
never
people.
let in, or yeah. He says we were never let in.
There are reasons why old stuff is sometimes forgotten and locked away. Because it's powerful. And sometimes bits and pieces of it hang around and get really angry when you poke it.
From what I understand, all the weapons that were present in that lab, you confiscated.
Wait, he doesn't know that.
Apparently he does.
How? And how did you come to that information? That's very interesting.
We had let's see. He got a lot of the NDA. While she's not on a regular payroll, we had a very talented cybermancer with us.
Fucking
that
cybermancers.
may have extracted some information.
Did she happen to extract some information with a plasma blade to a droid's head?
No, I think that was Drew. I think she stopped any further extraction of information that way. If this is about the droid, I'm sure we can pay for the repairs.
Oh, it's about so much more. She looks around to the other guys like, anyone got anything they wanted to ask?
Well, if you're talking about
unless
repairs, Cost
let's
of that
be-
droid would cost your entire compound, honestly.
And one of the things we may just want to say is the species that made those things are dead. Let's not beat around the bush here.
You could just use the E word.
Now, are your characters all in here throwing this stuff out? Or is everybody kind of whispering to Cat?
Kind of whispering to Cat.
Honestly, since Cat has her mask on, we essentially put up our test advice.
Yeah.
Like this is like Discord screen of people just like emoji.
You can no longer see the man you're talking to for all the chats going by.
My HUD's going crazy. Come.
So what
Look,
information
if
do
you
you
can give
pass
us-
to me? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Basically, we'll just cut to the quick here. Do you have any idea where he's going? We're just trying to stop the shit from getting worse.
I could not give you that information if I had it, but I do not. He had us drop him off at a crucible on the way here. Presumably, he had his own, mode of transportation after that.
Yeah.
I don't guess you can tell me really what this is about, because as far as I'm concerned, my hands are washed of it at this point.
Yeah.
We were ordered to hunker down here in case you tracked us down.
We don't have any interest in fighting people.
Yeah, he didn't specifically say you would attack us, but I guess he wanted us ready if you did. He didn't seem to be scared of you. He just didn't seem to want you following him.
Yeah.
He actually commented once that it would be safer for you if you didn't. Not in a threatening manner, like they better not come after me, but like,
Like he's going to get himself into trouble.
possibly. He strikes me as the sort, well-intentioned and, that,
Something road to hell.
the whole focus that those I'm just losing my words. Getting old.
Words.
Intellectuals.
Words are hard, man.
The way those intellectuals can focus.
Mhm.
But
Basically, he's found something a lot of people have been looking for a long time. And those people that are part of what he's found would prefer to stay hidden. And
sounds like
They'll
starting
try and
some
keep
conspiracy
stuff
kind of
hidden.
stuff.
yeah,
He goes,
I know
but
those forums a lot
there's enough
recently that
weird,
might be not helping.
He goes, there's enough weirdness about this that I can believe something's up. But yeah, all I can tell you is, we were just providing security for him and some technical know-how, and
Okay.
Bright Star is, we'll finish sitting here in our base for the time, and after that we're done.
You don't want to help an old man out who may be over his head.
Old man paid us to watch after him for so long, and then he's done. In our business, you can't get attached to the clients.
It's not about getting
clients
attached
anymore.
We're attached. You don't have to be attached.
Speak for yourself.
These guys are literally in it for the money. So
Hey,
And they make no
we're
bones
kind of in
about
it for
that.
the money. Yeah.
Yeah, they make
No,
no bones
that's
about
respectable. I respect that about you guys.
it.
God, I wish I could be in it for the money.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you do me a solid, Hans?
Depends.
If Vasher asks if we called you, just tell him you haven't heard from us.
He goes,
Sounds like
there was
something
nothing in
like
our deal saying we had to keep him notified. So, yeah, sure,
Sounds-
mum's the word. It sounds like y'all may need to haul this guy out of, out of whatever hot water he's trying to hop into.
Yeah. Somehow I have a feeling we'll end up in the soup as well.
I hope nothing. I hope nothing comes down to violence. He does still have one of our semi-regular contractors with him, and she'd be a handful.
Well, we'll see. So hey, if we survive this, we'll let you know.
But, you know,
And,
just out of
hey.
curiosity, I'd appreciate that.
One group of quasi-security folks. We're not. Are we mercenaries, guys?
We're basically mercenaries.
He's like,
Basically mercenaries to at least upstanding mercenaries. We'll get a drink at the end of this.
oh,
Professional courtesy.
that sounds pleasant.
All right.
I'm glad this didn't turn into a fight in our compound or anything.
Yeah, no, we're not that dumb. We're plenty dumb, but not that dumb.
Well, you got to be in this line of work to some degree.
Have a good rest of the month, guys.
You as well. Good luck.
Before the call ends, Adrian will sort of walk by and is like, "Oh yeah, and if the shadow technocracy knocks on your door, best of luck." Click.
Don't answer.
Get like 5
You
emails.
get that
Like,
kind
who?
of, and then the call disconnects.
They're like calling back, like, pick back up. You guys were joking about that, right? It's not funny.
Oh no, they're very real. Here's this other footage.
That's the kind of
this
footage that
ends
would
up
get
on the
people attacked if they
conspiracy.
knew if it got around that you had that.
Somehow it ends up on the conspiracy forum, and we just never hear from them again. Okay, so back to the Crucible. See if we can figure out what ship Achille took,
All right.
and either join him in the soup or pull him out of the soup.
Okay. All right. It's about 15 till, but that is really all I had ready for tonight.
Hey,
I'll be honest. I
Maciej.
kind of expected you to at least try to sneak into the compound potentially, but
He's like, we don't want to fight anymore, man.
Cooler heads prevailed, I guess.
well, I didn't
Armando's
really
in the
think it was
corner,
going to
like,
turn
I'm
into a
just
murder
horny
fest.
for combat.
I didn't think it was going to turn into a murder fest because
Half of our Armando want to start just not even like fight to the death, but like competitive fighting.
Wants to go to a fight pit.
Yes.
Oh, so this is why you made a brouhaha for vampires. Okay.
It's because I like playing tanks when I learn new systems. That's why.
All right. Well, let's wrap up here then. Next week you'll begin your investigation on Saurus, or on the Crucible around Saurus. Let's see.
Find Achille, like, we're not sure if you're the bad guy or not, man. We've got a lot of conflicted emotions. Armando's gonna run a therapy session for.
We're in a glass box of emotion. All right, so let's see. Thank you, anybody watching on Twitch, anybody that's watching on YouTube later, or listening when I put this up as a podcast. Hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it running it. I hope my players had fun. Tune in tomorrow night when I believe we should be doing Monster of the Week.
Yes.
We had episode 1 a month ago. We should have episode 2 tomorrow.
Catch it on YouTube before you watch it tomorrow.
We start advertising on Thursday.
Oh, is that finally starting up? Sweet.
Yes.
Going to hell.
Best of luck.
What are
I'm
you
excited.
on Thursday?
What's this, Patrick?
What are you starting on Thursday?
Some of the other folks on Dire Bear run monster. There's a Monster of the Week game going on Wednesdays, and a Descent into Avernus D&D on Thursdays. And then, of course, on Monday, Heath is running the Escorts, which is kind of the flagship show on Dire Bear.
Oh.
So anyway, we're wrapping up here. I've been your DM for the evening, Jason, and again with me has been Sarah playing Kat, Decca playing Armando, Eric playing Adrian, and Patrick playing Hull. And we will catch you next time.
Later.
Play us out.
Well, I don't really have exiting theme music.